Therefore your oaths are words in poor conditions, but unsealed, at least in my opinion.
Change it, change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy, and by integrity ne'er knew the crafts that you do charge men with.
Actually, yeah, it did.
Give thyself unto my sick desires. Say thou art mine, and ever, as my love begins, shall so persever.
I see that men make ropes into such a scar that we'll forsake ourselves. Give me that ring.
I will lend it thee, my dear, but have no power to give it from me.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor longing to my house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose.
Mine honors such a ring, my jewels the chastity of our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which are the greatest obloquy in the world, and me to lose. Therefore your own proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring, my house, mine honor, yea, my life be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
Now will I charge you in the band of truth, when you have conquered my yet maiden bed. Remain here but an hour, nor speak to me, my reasons are most strong. And you shall know them when back again this ring is delivered. And on your finger in the night I'll put another ring, that what in time proceeds may token to the future our past deeds.
A heaven on earth, I have won by wooing thee.
For which live long to thank both heaven and me, you may so in the end. My mother told me just how he would woo, as if she sat in his own heart. She says all men have the like oaths. I live and die a maid. I think it no sense to cozen him that would unjustly win.
And so, Helena set off to make her marriage legitimate. Bertram awoke the next morning with the ring that the king had given Helena on his finger. Since the night that Helena and Bertram spent together, many things developed. She stayed with him for 2 months and then did what any sane girl would do. She spread the word that she had died of grief. Bertram got the news and realized that he had perhaps treated Helena unfairly. Conversely, the war had ended and he decided to go back to Roussillon. The girls got wind of this news and planned to head to Roussillon as well.
You may well perceive I have not wronged you. As one of the greatest in the Christian world, where our self-perfect man intends to kneel, I am duly informed that the king is at Marseille, a place to which we have convenient convoy. I must inform you, I'm presumed dead, but the army is breaking up, and my husband head high home, where with the good lord the king shall be there welcoming us before our leave.
Gentle madam, you never had a servant whose trust your business was more welcome.
Nor you, mistress, never a friend who does truly recompense their labor for their love. Heaven hath fated me to be your daughter's dower, as death fated her to be my helper and motive to a king. But Diana, under my poor instructions, you must yet suffer more.
Let death and honesty go with your impositions. I am yours upon your will to suffer.
The word's the time will bring on summer, when briars shall have leaves as well as thorns, and be sharp as well as sweet. All's well that ends well.
Hey, the title of the play.
The find a crown, whatever the course, the end's renown.
And Helena headed to Marseille to try and track down the king for a favor. Meanwhile, in Roussillon,
It was the death of the most virtuous gentlewoman nature ever had praise for creating. If she had partaken of my flesh, and cost me the dearest groans of a mother, I could not have owed her a more rooted love.
'Twas a good lady, 'twas a good lady, and we may pick 1,000 salads ere we light on such another.
Indeed, sir, she was the sweet marjoram of the salad, or rather the herb of grace.
They're not herbs, you knave. They are nose herbs.
I am no great Nebuchadnezzar, sir. I have not much skill in grass.
Whether dost thou profess thyself, a knave or a fool?
I am a woodland fellow, sir, that ever loved a great fire. And the master that I speak of ever keeps a good fire. But, sure, he is the prince of the world, let his nobility remain in his court. I am for the house of the narrow gate, which I take to be too little for pomp to enter. Some that humble themselves may, but the many will be too chill and tender, and they will be for the flowery way that leads to the broad gate and the great fire.
Go thy ways. Begin to be aweary of thee. I was about to tell you, since I had heard of the good lady's death, and that my lord, your son, was upon his return home, I moved the king to speak in behalf of my daughter, which, in the minority of them both, his majesty, out of a self-gracious remembrance, did first propose. His highness hath promised me to do it. How does your ladyship like it?
The Countess had just been mourning the girl she considered to be her daughter not but 10 seconds ago. But what the hell?
With very much content, my lord, and I wish it happily effected.
His highness comes post from Marseille, as of able-bodied when he numbered 30. He'll be here tomorrow.
It rejoices me that I shall see him ere I die. I have letters that my son shall be here tonight. I beseech your lordship in remaining with me till they meet together.
Yes, of course. I would be honored to do that for you.
Oh, madam, yonder's my lord, your son, with a patch of velvet on's face.
Let us go see your son, I pray you. I long to talk with the young noble soldier.
Meanwhile, the others had arrived in Marseille, only to find out the king had just left for Roussillon.
All's well that ends well yet.
Hey, there it is again. Meanwhile, in the king's court, everyone was getting ready for Bertram to be married. Again.
We lost a jewel of her, and our esteem was made much poorer by it. But your son, as mad in folly, lacked the sense to know her estimation home. My honored lady, I have forgiven and forgotten all, though my revenges were high bent upon him and watched the time to shoot.
This I must say, but first I beg my pardon. His lord did to his majesty, his mother, and his lady offense of a mighty note, but to himself the greatest wrong of all.
Well, find him and bring him hither. Let him not ask our pardon. Let him approach a stranger, no offender, and inform him so 'tis our will he should. What says he to your daughter? Have you spoke?
All that he is hath reference to your majesty.
Then shall we have a match? I have letters sent me that set him high in fame.
Oh, he looks well, huh?
I am not a day of season, for thou may see a sunshine and a hail at me at once. But to the brightest beams, distracted clouds give way. So stand thou forth, the time is fair again.
My high repentant blames, dear sovereign. Pardons.
All is whole. Not one word more of the consumed time. Let's take the instant by the forward top. You remember the daughter of this lord?
Admiringly, my liege. At first I had stuck my choice upon her, ere my heart durst make too bold a herald of my tongue, wherein the impression of mine eye was infixed. Contempt his scornful perspective did lend me, which warped the line of every other favor. Scorn of fair color where rested stolen, extended or contracted all proportions to a most hideous object. Thence it came that she, whom all men praised, and whom myself, since I have lost, have loved, was in mine eye the dust that did offend it.
That thou didst love her, strike some scores away from the great Comte. But love that comes too late, like remorseful pardon slowly carried to the great sender, turns a sour offense, crying, "That's good that's gone. Be this sweet Helen's knell." Send forth your amorous token for fair Maudlin. The main consents are had, and here we'll stay, to see our widower's second marriage day.
Come on, my son, in whom my house's name must be digested. I'll give a favor from you to sparkle in the spirits of my daughter. Oh, by my old beard, and every hair that's on it. Helen, that's dead, was a sweet creature. Now such a ring as this, the last that e'er I took her at court, I saw upon her finger.
Hers it was not.
Let me see it, for mine eye while I was speaking oft was fastened to it. This ring was mine, and when I gave it Helen, I bade her that if her fortunes ever stood necessity to help, that by this token I would relieve her.
My gracious sovereign, however it pleases you to take it so, the ring was never hers.
Son, on my life I have seen her wear it, and she reckoned it at her life's rate.
I am sure I saw her wear it.
Thinking Diana had given him the ring, and not knowing that Diana and Helena were acquainted, Bertram was confused.
You are deceived, my lord. She never saw it.